the practice that we do does arise out of my personal practice. So I just wanted to let you know where I am. I've been having a lot of feelings. One moment I'm really hopeless and weepy, and then the next I could be giddy and very excited and hopeful that we're going to solve a lot of the problems that we're all experiencing. And from talking with some of you and also my friends who don't join us here, I'm not the only one who's feeling buffeted by the things that are happening to us societally, and also the things that are going on in our individual lives. So our practice today is going to be a little bit different. This is a practice I did for myself a few days ago, and it really did seem to bring me back to homeostasis. It brought me back to the steady state that I'm used to being in most of the time. It brought me back to a feeling of being at home. So things are going to be a little bit different today. So bear with me. Those of you who need a faster practice or a lot more energy in your practice, you're going to be able to do that. But if you're having all the feelings like I am, I encourage you to slow down and really try to come to this place of feeling at home wherever your home is now. Find a good seat for yourself and close your eyes. Take a few breaths just to feel steady in your body and to feel connected to your breath. I'm going to read you the words of the poet Cleo Wade. This is from her poem, Home. Business is not your home. Productivity is not your home. The internet is not your home. Being strong and holding it all together is not your home. You are your home. Relax there. Breathe there. Claim peace there. Bring your hands together at your heart. And let's all set an intention to find home within ourselves. To find home wherever we are, whatever the situation around us is. To find that peace that allows us to relax and truly be ourselves. As you exhale, release your hands down and then gently open your eyes. So in our practice today, we're going to work on clearing out the attic, the shoulders, and also the basement, the hips, where we store a lot of stuff, so we can clear those areas out and really feel relaxed and at home in our bodies. I made a playlist for us today that's a little different from most of the playlists that I make. It's a blues playlist. So this music is often really grounding. So that's the music I chose for today. If you're going to join in on my playlist, it's Virtual Yoga 9/3 Blues. You can find it on Spotify under my handle, EDYM428. You can go ahead and tap play on that. Or if you're playing your own music, I really encourage you to find something that maybe is a little bit slower, a little bit more grounding. And then we'll come on to all fours on our mats. If you have a strap or a block for your practice, or something that serves as a strap or a block, those will be good for you to have today. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. You're still in good shape. Come on to your hands and your knees and really feel the earth beneath you. Ground into that earth. Close your eyes here. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, clear out through your mouth. And then seal your lips. Begin breathing longer, steadier breaths in and out of your nose. And on your next exhale, take cat pose, rounding your spine up towards the sky. Let your head hang down here. And on your inhale, cow pose. Send your hips back, take your gaze forward. Another round of cat. And cow. And then think about taking barrel rolls around through your spine in one direction and then in the other. So in that barrel roll, you really take your ribs out to the side and up into cat, out to the other side and down into cow. Just go around in a circle one way and then the other a few times. Come into a neutral spine again. Close your eyes. Take a big inhale through your nose. Full exhale through your mouth. And then back to breathing through your nose. As you inhale, take your right leg back and swing that right leg over to the left. Put the ball of your foot down off the left side of your mat. And then turn and look back over your left shoulder towards your right foot. You're welcome to stay right here. Maybe you shrug that right ear up towards your shoulder. And then maybe if you want more, you start walking your hands over to the left, especially walking out through that right hand and shrugging that right ear up towards your shoulder. Reach back through the right heel. And then inhale, come back to neutral. Walk the hands in, lower your right knee down. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. From neutral, inhale, take your left leg back, swing it over to the right, plant the ball of your foot down, and then turn and look over your right shoulder towards your left foot. You can stay right here, or second option is to shrug that left ear up towards your left shoulder up towards your left ear. And then the third option is to pick the hands up and walk them over to the right. And then inhale, come back to the middle with your hands and with your knee. Widen your knees out, take a child's pose here. Bring the big toes together, shift your hips back. And settle down into the earth. Let your legs, your head, your arms be heavy. On your next inhale, lift your head up and come onto your fingertips. So lifting your upper arms away from the floor. We're going to twist here in the child's pose. So take your right arm under your left arm and reach the right arm way over to the left. And then maybe lower the right side of your head to the floor. So there are a couple of things you can do in the twist here to feel it in different parts of your body. One is to pick up that left hand and use the left thumb into the left hip crease to draw the left hip back. If you're not feeling that, take the left hand back out to the front of your mat with a bend in the elbow, and then pull that left shoulder back as you press the back of the right hand into the floor. Notice what you feel and where you feel it. Opening up the body to feel at home. And then inhale, release back to your child's pose. Be on fingertips. Lift the upper arms away from the floor. We'll twist to the second side. So thread the left arm under the right arm, reach it out to the side, and then lower the left side of your head to the floor. One option is to put your right thumb into your right hip crease, pulling the right hip back. Or another option is to walk the right hand out in front a little bit with a bend in the elbow, and then try to pull the right arm back as you press the back of the left hand into the floor. Inhale, release your twist. Stretch your hands out in front. Let's take downward facing dog here. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, and bend your knees as much as you need to so you feel some length through your spine here. A little bit at a time, start working your heels down towards the floor. And then sway the hips side to side. You can even take the heels to the side that you take the hips. And then come into stillness. Widen your feet out as you bring them a few inches forward. So feet about as wide as the mat. If it feels better for you, you can even take your feet wider. Think about stretching your chest back between your legs as you keep the arms planted or keep the hands planted. And then start walking the feet to the top of your mat. We're going to keep the feet wide as you bring them to the top of your mat. And then hold on to your elbows. Put a little bend into those knees. If you're feeling too much stretching across the backs of the legs, let this whole practice feel really good to you. We'll stretch, yes, but do it in a way that feels just right, that feels comfortable. Put a little bend into your knees, lower your hands to the mat, and as you inhale, lengthen forward. Bring your left hand underneath your face on the floor and twist around to the right. So bend into the left knee as you take that right arm up into the air. You can stay right here. If you want a little bit more, maybe bind that right hand around the inside of the left leg. And then inhale, release the twist. Lower your right hand to the floor, maybe a little bend in the knees. And then as you inhale, twist to the left. Take the left arm up as you bend the right knee. Maybe you keep the fingertips pointing up towards the sky. Or you wrap the hand around behind your back, maybe grabbing your right inner thigh and twisting open. Inhale, release your twist, fold in. And then on your next inhale, rise up to stand, arms up overhead, touch your fingertips together, and then exhale, hands to your heart. If you have a strap, grab it. If you don't have a strap or something that will fill in for a strap for you, don't worry about it. We're all going to be good here. If you have the strap, you're going to take the strap at least outside of your thighs and then take the strap up overhead. If you don't, I'm going to come closer so you can see me. If you don't have the strap, you can take your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, and press your palms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, arc over to the right. So those of you who have the strap can bend your left elbow and pull down gently with your right hand. Inhale, back up, straight arms. Exhale, arc over to the left. If your hands are interlaced and you don't have a strap, you're just going to stay here. If you do have the strap, maybe bend the right elbow, forearm coming behind your head, and pull down just gently with your left hand. And then inhale, back up. So if you have the strap, you're going to widen the hands out a little bit and start to take the arms back behind you. We're going to slowly lower all the way down. If you don't have a strap, unlace your hands and just take your hands back behind you, trying to keep the thumbs as close to each other as you can as you lower down. Or if you've got the strap, you're taking it around behind your back. And then you can release the strap, put it off to the side. You might want it later, right at the top of your mat, hands to your heart. Focusing on opening the attic, opening the basement, feeling right at home in our house. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen forward, and then on your exhale, fold back in. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. With the tops of your shoulders lifting away from the floor, start to bring your hands away from your low back. And we're going to twist here, keeping the hands interlaced. So we'll twist around to the right. Bend the left knee and take your interlaced hands over to the left, drawing your right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Inhale, release to center, straighten your left leg, and then second side. Start to bend your right knee and take your hands over to the right as you pull your left shoulder up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, release. Take your hands down to the mat. Lengthen the spine forward again, and then let's go back to downward facing dog. So we're going to make our way to our bellies. Those of you who want to do the traditional vinyasa to get there can. Or maybe you even do the vinyasa from your knees. Or you just get on down to your belly, however you can get there. Stretch the legs back behind, tops of the feet on the floor. Point your elbows towards the ceiling, bring your fingertips to the floor. You can do this with the palms down if it bothers you to have the fingertips on the floor. But we want the hands to be out wider than the mat is. Inhale, lift into a little bit of a cobra. Take your gaze forward and then roll your shoulders around, one and then the other. Maybe close your eyes here. Don't think about it too much. Just feel it. Letting the shoulders, the upper back, the neck start to open. And then come back to the center. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. Then bring your right foot to the top of your mat. However you get it up there, right foot up. We're going to take warrior one. So make this warrior one that feels good. It does not need to be your deepest bend into your front knee. Just get steady into the legs and into the feet. And then take your arms up, straight up overhead. On your exhale, circle your arms back behind you and down. And then inhale right up top, back to warrior one. 2 more times to circle. Exhale, lowering the arms down as you circle back. And then inhale up. 1 more time, take the arms down. This time, interlace your hands behind your back. Draw the shoulders back. And as you exhale, humble warrior, fold inside your front leg. We're going to hold this a little longer than we usually do. Maybe you bring your hands away from your back and let your head hang down. You might even move your head around a little bit to start to let go and loosen up holding patterns in your neck. About 2 more breaths here. Release your hands down to the mat on either side of the front foot. Lift your back heel up. Put a little weight into your left hand and twist to the right. Take that right arm up to the sky, twisting open. Maybe you make it a little bit of a back bend, taking the back of your head back. And then walk your left hand an inch forward. Turn all your toes to point to the right. So come onto the outer edge of your back foot and slide that right hand down to point towards the back of your mat. Draw your shoulders back. You can stay right here. We'll take 3 pulses with me. Inhaling to lift up, arcing that right arm up and over your ear, and then exhaling to lower back down. Go slow here so you really feel it in your body. Inhaling to lift up, if that's what you're choosing to do, and then exhaling to lower down. One more time, arc up. And one more time, lower down. And then turn to face the front of your mat, back into lunge. Bring your back foot in about an inch, and then straighten your front leg and fold over it. So listen to the back of that right leg. Just going for a nice stretch that makes you feel at home. You don't want it, we're trying to feel comfortable here. So you don't want to get so far out of your comfort zone with the stretch that you don't feel at home. Make it feel good. Notice the grounding under your feet. About 2 more breaths here. We're going to change sides. If you want, you can take your traditional flow or one leg flow to change sides. Or you can just bring the left foot up, and we'll wait until the others are ready to join us here. Until the flowers are done with their flow. When you're ready, plant your left foot at the front of your mat and make your way up to Warrior One. Again, this isn't going to be your deepest Warrior One with the deepest back bend. Just make it feel easy and good. Let's circle the arms back 3 times. Turn the palms up and try to keep the thumbs pointing in towards the midline as you lower down. And inhale takes the arms up. Go with your breath. Exhale to lower. And inhale to lift. One more time to go low, and then interlace your hands behind your back. Other thumb on top. The thumb that you didn't have on top when the other leg was in front. Draw your shoulders back. Use your exhale to find humble warrior. Try to fold inside the left leg. And keeping some muscle energy in your shoulders, bring your hands away from your back. Maybe let your head hang down, move it around if you feel comfortable with the balance here. And we'll hold here just for a few breaths. Release your hands down to the floor on either side of the front foot. Lift your back heel up. Put some weight into your right hand and twist to the left. Taking the left arm up. Maybe in this twist, you turn it into a slight back bend by taking your head back, by taking your left shoulder back a little bit more. And then lower your left hand, keep that left hand up. So walk your right hand forward about an inch and then turn all your toes to point to the left. And we'll lower that outer right hip down towards the floor as you stretch your right hand to point towards the back of your mat. So you're on the outer edge of your right foot, the outer stripe of your right leg. You can stay right here or take 3 arcing pulses up with me. Inhale, lift your bottom hip up, stretch your arm over your ear. Inhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift up, arc up, stretch the hand over. Exhale, lower down. And we'll do one more here. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, lower. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat. Coming back into lunge. Bring your back foot forward about an inch. You can bring it forward more or less. And then straighten the front leg. Just want the distance between the feet so that you feel stretching in the back of the left leg when you straighten it, but not so much stretching that it's pulling you out of this place of feeling at home, this place of feeling comfortable in your body. All right. If you want to take a flow here, you can. You can take that one leg flow with the left leg lifting up. You can take no flow. Maybe you hold downward dog, or if your left foot is still at the top of the mat, maybe you just bring the right foot up to meet it and hold your forward bend. Standing forward bend at the top of the mat is where we're all going to meet once you're done with your flow. And then inhale, rise up, take your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Take a little back bend here, stretching across the front of the body. Take your gaze up to the sky. And then exhale, palms together, forward bend, fold in. Inhale, lengthen forward. We're gonna let's all go to downward dog together. That's what we'll do. From downward dog, inhale, lift your right leg to the sky, bend your knee and twist open. So we're just trying to open the front of the right hip and get a little length into the right side body. Of course, if you want to flip over, you can. We won't be coming back here on this side again, so this is your one chance to do that. If you flipped, come back around to one leg dog. Stretch that right leg behind, and then lunge your right foot to the top of your mat. Come up to warrior two. And then horse stance. So we're going to turn the toes out. Knees are bent. Knees are tracking out in the same direction. Your toes are pointing. Bring your hands above your knees. Try and keep the arms straight. You can shift the hips back and the shoulders forward a little bit. And we'll twist here. Take a breath in as you exhale. Twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, one more each way. Exhale to twist. And inhale to straighten back up. When you come to the center, straighten your legs. Turn the toes to point forward. Interlace your hands behind you. So we're going to keep the legs straight here. When you interlace the hands, bend the elbows so that you bring your hands up to about your mid-back. Slide your interlaced hands over to the right. So they're on the right side of your waist. There you go. And then take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Maybe you try to lower that left shoulder down just a little bit. And then you might take your head, your face, a little bit forward and back, still keeping that right ear near your right shoulder. If you find a spot when you're going back and forth that feels especially tight, maybe linger there a little bit longer. Opening up the attic. And then bring your head back upright. Keep the hands interlaced. Just slide them over to the left side waist. And then take your left ear towards your left shoulder. See if you can get that right shoulder to slope down a little bit more. And then again, keeping your ear close to your shoulder, take your face a little forward and a little back. And then bring your head back upright. Slide your hands back behind your back. And for wide leg, forward bend, fold over. And then start to bring your hands away from your back, just to the degree that you feel a nice stretch that opens the shoulders. Let your head hang down, maybe move it around a little bit to loosen up your neck. And then release your hands down to the floor. We'll take 4 side lunges here, so go slow. We'll start bending into the right knee. You can get really low here or higher. A little inner thigh and outer hip stretching, back of the leg stretching. When you finish that 4th lunge, just fold down into your forward bend. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Let it go through your mouth. And then hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up to stand. Back to warrior 2. Turn your front toes forward, bend into your front knee. Again, this isn't going to be your deepest warrior 2, your strongest warrior 2. Just let it feel good. And then a reverse warrior. On your exhale, hands down to the mat. We'll take downward dog. You've got a flow opportunity here, 1 leg or 2 leg if you want it. Just check in and see how you're feeling. And then from downward dog, inhale, lift your left leg high behind you, bend your knee and twist open. So really just going for that stretching across the front of the left hip and lengthening into the left side body. If you want to flip over, now's your opportunity. And if you flipped, come back around to 1 leg dog. We'll all straighten the left leg back behind, and then exhale, lunge the left foot to the top of the mat. Come up to warrior 2. And then straighten your front leg. Turn your toes to point to the right long side of your mat, and bring your feet a little closer to one another. So not the normal length that you would have in the wide leg stance, a little closer, and then come down into your forward bend. Take your right hand and grab around the outside of your left ankle. Stretch your left arm out in front. Now take a side lunge into your right knee. The more you shift your weight over that right foot, and the more you can hold on with the right hand to the left ankle, you'll feel a stretching up into your mid-back on the right side. And then inhale, release, straighten your leg. Second side, take your left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Right arm is stretched out in front. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, take a side lunge into your left knee. So you're getting that side lunge with a twist. And then inhale, release, straighten your leg. We'll take 1 more moment to fold in here in our semi-wide leg forward fold. And then hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. Warrior 2. Turn your left toes forward, find your warrior 2, and then reverse warrior. And exhale, hands down to your mat. You can step back to downward dog or take another flow here, your choice. Just trying to ground in our bodies, find a home there. And then we're all going to come down to our bellies, however you want to get there. Lower on down. Bend your left knee and reach back with your strap or your left hand and grab your left foot. Draw your heel in towards your hip. You can rest your forehead on your right hand. And then exhale, release. We'll switch sides. Bend your right knee. Reach back with your right hand. Grab your foot. Draw your heel in. And maybe rest your forehead on your left hand. Grounding your front body into the earth. Feeling settled and steady. Exhale and release. Stretch your leg back. Bring your left hand under your left shoulder and stretch your right arm all the way out in front on the mat. You're going to slide your inner left knee along the floor and out to the side. So that left knee comes up to about hip height on the floor. From here, you're going to roll onto your shoulder blade. So push down into the floor with your left hand. That right knee will slide more towards the middle of your mat, or that left knee will slide more towards the middle of your mat. Pick up your left hand and reach it back behind you. So you're twisting here. Letting your left arm be heavy and your left leg be heavy. And try to let your head rest on the floor. If your head's not on the floor, you can place whatever you have, a shirt, a blanket, a towel underneath your head. Breathe into the places that are opening for you. If you want just a little bit more, think about reaching your left knee out towards the left a little bit more. And then inhale, release, roll back to your belly. You're going to keep that left knee out to the left there. And then slide both hands under your shoulders. We're going to do a little cobra with the left knee out to the side. So hug your belly in and then lift up, just a little cobra. Some of you may want to come up more upward dog shape, trying to get that inner thigh to open up a little bit. And then exhale, lower down and stretch your left leg back behind you. So for the second side, you stretch your left arm all the way out in front, and then slide your inner right knee along the floor and out to the right until you've lifted that knee up to about hip height. We're going to try to roll onto the shoulder blades. So as you inhale, start to roll back. Your right knee will slide more towards the middle of your mat, and then stretch your left arm, or your right arm, back out, back of the hand on the floor or close to the floor. Just let your leg and your arm be heavy. Let your head be heavy. Maybe close your eyes and just notice what you're feeling in your body. Come home to the sensation of opening your body. Use your next inhale to roll back to your belly, but keep that right knee out to the right. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Pull into your belly, and then just start to lift up, lifting your chest forward, listening to your inner thigh, outer hip, low back here. And then as you exhale, lower back down, stretch your leg back. We're going to come to hands and knees. Those of you who want another flow can take one here. The rest of us will come up to hands and knees. And where we're all going to meet is with the right foot up between the hands and the left knee on the ground. That left knee is going to be there for a while if you want to pat it with your mat or whatever else you might have. And then we'll take a lizard pose variation here. Bring your right arm to the inside of the right leg. Walk your hands over to the left a little bit, and then start to lift your right hand up into the air, twisting around. And then bring that right hand back down just to the inside of your right thigh. You're gonna try to get that right arm straight and take a little back bend here, taking your head back. If you come onto the outer edge of the right foot, that's fine. You don't have to have the whole foot grounded. And then release, hands down on the inside of your leg. So your first option is just to lower your chest closer to the floor. If you want to add on a little bit more here, you can bend your left knee, reach back with your strap or your right hand and grab on, and then fold down inside your leg. Maybe when you fold down, you bring that left elbow to the ground and fold in. This is a little more intense. You're getting the quad stretch. If you're holding on to your left foot with your right hand, you decide what feels right for you here. And then release, and we'll change sides. So we'll have the left foot in front and the right knee down onto the ground. Walk your left arm to the inside of the left leg, and then walk your hands over to the right just a little bit. Lift your left arm up into the air, finding a little twist here. And then bring that left hand down on the inside of the left thigh. And think about straightening that left arm, gently pushing your thigh out to the side and taking your head back a little bit. And then inhale, release. Hands down on the inside of your leg. So you can just lower down here, walking the hands out, maybe getting the elbows down to the ground. That's one option. The second option that adds in a quad stretch is to bend the back knee, reach back with your left hand, grab your foot, hug your heel in, and then start to get low. And then exhale, release. Let's step back to downward facing dog together. Take a deep breath in through your nose Exhale through your mouth. Pigeon Prep. Bring your right knee forward and a little bit wider than your right hand. Angle that right shin across your mat. Think about squaring up your hips a little bit, so drawing the front of the left hip down. And then as you're ready, start to walk your elbows down. If you have a block, you can place it under your forehead so that your head can be heavy here. If you don't have a block, you can come into prayer hands with your thumbs facing up, and then just press your thumbs into your forehead. We'll add one twist here in pigeon. So we're going to twist around to the left. So bring your left hand under your left shoulder to support you as you bring your right arm or elbow over towards the left side of your mat. And then maybe you bring your hands into prayer. If that's not working, you keep your left hand on the ground. Try to ground the front of the left hip towards the floor as you pull the left shoulder back. Inhale to release. Let's change sides. Go through downward dog. And then bring your left knee behind your left wrist or a little bit wider down to the floor. Find an angle for your shin where you get a nice stretch, but nothing too intense. And then start to lower down to your forearms. Rest your head. I'm just trying to unpack the basement. Get rid of feelings or memories that you store that bring you tightness into your hips. And now let's add a twist. Bring your right hand down to the mat to support you as you bring your left elbow over towards the right side of your mat. And then twist around to the right, maybe coming into prayer hands. And then inhale, release. Last time for downward dog. Of course, if you still want to flow, you can take it here. We're all going to meet in a seat, a cross-legged seat on our mat. So we'll find that cross-legged seat with the right shin in front. If you're feeling it, you can come into fire log pose, crossing that right outer edge of your foot on top of your left knee. So if you have a block, it may feel more comfortable for you to have something between your right knee and your left foot if they're not touching each other. You can place that block there. Or you could have your right shin in front of the left shin, your choice. Here, we're just gonna circle around clockwise and then counterclockwise. Clockwise twice, counterclockwise twice. So think about folding forward and then circling around, circle to the back and the other side. One more time around in this direction. And then circle 2 times in the other direction. Go slow here so you can really notice and feel and give your muscles time to open in the places where they feel tight. And then let's change the cross of the legs. So left shin in front or left shin on top. And again, if your left knee is far away from your left foot, you can place a block between them for a little support. And then we'll take those 2 circles in each direction. So start bowing forward and then circle around. Side, back, other side, and front. And then come back up, stretch your legs out, shake them out a little bit. We're going to come onto our backs. So bend your knees, soles of the feet on the floor. If you have a block, we'll take a supported bridge pose. So if you don't have a block, you can also use a couple of rolled up towels or anything you have that you can place underneath your hips so that when you're in bridge pose, you're not having to work the legs, you're not having to work the muscles of the back body, but you can still get that lengthening of the front body. And if you don't have a block or something that will stand in for a block, you'll just take a regular bridge pose. You're going to have to work a little bit more here. Let the whole front body settle towards the back body. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. If you're comfortable, you can stay here. If not, start to come down and hug your knees into your chest and rock across your back. We can't do a hip opening class without full happy baby, so reach up, grab your feet, draw your knees down on either side of your ribs. Maybe rock across your back a couple of times. And then you have a choice here for Shavasana or legs up the wall. So you know Shavasana, just straightening your legs out a little bit wider than your hips and turning your palms up. For legs up the wall, you'll get your hips kind of close to the wall and then turn so that your legs, your heels rest into the wall. I like for my hips to be several inches away from the wall so my legs can rest into the wall and I don't have to work to hold them there. And then once your legs are in place, turn your palms up towards the ceiling. So you decide what you want your almost final pose for practice to be. And close your eyes. Maybe take one more cleansing breath on your own, inhaling through your mouth and exhaling through your nose. Business is not your home. Productivity is not your home. The internet is not your home. Being strong and holding it all together is not your home. You are your home. Relax there, breathe there, claim peace there. Begin deepening your breath now. Really feel the breath all the way into your belly. Try to feel that sense of peace from your practice, that sense of being home in your body, being home wherever you are. And then begin to gently reawaken your body, moving your fingers and your toes, maybe turning your head side to side. If your legs are against the wall or your bed or some piece of furniture in your yoga studio, start to slide the legs down. And then let's gently, in your own way, make your way up to a seat. No rush, but once you're there, bring your hands together at your heart. I hope as you go through your day, you're able to carry with you a sense of peace and ease and equanimity. We are being buffeted about by different forces in our lives. Hold on to this feeling that you have now. Let's take a couple of breaths, a couple of moments of silence to join our energy together and send it out to all of those who are in need today. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.